Hello and welcome back to the Lord of Heroes Contract Heroes tier list on Nyris Gaming. This is part 2 of the Contract Heroes tier list, and today we will be adjusting some things from the previous part, as some heroes have been changed or I have had more time with them, and then we will be getting into the new trio so we can properly place them. So the first adjustment is going to be Earth Lucilica is bumping up to an S tier, because while she does take a long time to wind up her stacks and or get her relics and a lot of investment, once she does, she becomes an absolute monster in my opinion, and has the potential to be the strongest single target Earth DPS in the game. AoE is obviously going to go to Ikataztol. Fire Lyra's changes coming in the update tomorrow will likely bump her up to an A tier, but I will hold off on making that official. Earth Walther is overall better than he was. His 1 is team-wide instead of just 2 allies, and he has defense scaling for his damage, bumping him up to A. Also, Earth Sulfie bumping up to A because, apart from Light Walther, she is your only access to shock for an Earth team, and that can be incredibly helpful for extra damage output. Now let us move on to the new trio, starting with Light Helga. She's going right up here because she offers a lot of utility to the team and has a decent amount of damage output herself, as you can see here. She is an attack-heavy commander. Her 1 will give her stacking attack for the wave, her 2 will action gauge boost the team, and if an ally is affected by invincibility, which she can gain from her burst, they will be boosted an upwards of 60%, which is massive. Makes her synergize more with the likes of Light Lyra and Light Vanessa. This also provides an attack scaling shield to the whole team. Her Refined Relic gives her the ability to provide crit damage to the whole team whenever she attacks, which is all of her abilities, on top of in the Calamity's Cradle providing an extra 15% crit damage to the whole team. This is also going to be expanded to the new raid alongside Water Aslan and a bunch of other commanders' abilities. She is effectively a more damage-heavy and more utility-driven version of Light Durahan, especially considering the ability to provide crit damage and action gauge boost. Moving on to Water Aslan, I'm gonna put him high A, low S. He's definitely not as overloaded as Light Helga, but he is very good at what he does. He is purely single target and mostly utility, but his burst does good damage, as you can see here. Clearly not as much as some other sub DPSs, but not nothing. His 1 will action gauge reduce, especially against fire targets. His 2 will provide speed up and attack strength up to the team, and give him taking the lead. And his stacks of taking the lead will increase the amount that your highest attack ally will get action gauge boosted when he bursts, upwards of 100% if they are water elemental for the last 40%. Good utility, decent damage, but far, far more simple than the other 2. Lastly, we will come to Fire Walther. And I would say out of the trio, it goes in this order. He definitely won out of the 3 of them. He is a health scaling Fire Guardian. He provides shock for a fire team in the form of his 2. His burst gives him resolve, so he will take more damage but deal more damage, and further reduce the damage the team takes. Plus his burst does exceptional damage against earth targets and if they are under the effects of shock from his 2. And it is not a small amount of damage, especially for a non-DPS class. Him and Fire Aaron alone, paired with the team of Fire Lynn and Fire Olivia and Fire Rashad, broke into UD ranking by themselves. They both did over 50 million damage total as Guardians. Things that help him hit that are his Pierce Divine Relic. Similarly to Light Helga, they both have a relic that gives them access to Pierce. Plus, for him with fire teams, they have access to most of the debuffs in the game readily available at any given time. So hitting higher damage numbers with fire teams right now is very easy. Plus, since his damage scales with health, he gets to be tanky on top of all of this and doesn't have to spec into attack to actually deal damage. You get to build him one way and he does everything. His 2 also increases speed, so he he is good for supporting the likes of Fire Roselic. So yeah, in conclusion, the new trio is very, very good, with Walther being the clear winner and Light Helga a close second, and Water Walther being pretty good, but not quite as good as the other two. So this is the fully concluded, until Fire Lyra gets changed tomorrow, Contract Hero tier list for Lord of Heroes, in my personal opinion. I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I shall see you in the next one.